I guess I would actually say happy Friday as I normally do on a Friday, but if you are a fan of Indiana Jones, I'm a fan of Indiana Jones. This is not going to be a very, very happy Friday for people that were actually looking forward to Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. You can see here it's sitting at a 54 on Rotten Tomatoes, but we already knew that the reviews were horrific for this. Guess what news we got yesterday? The box office predictions. Can you take a guess what they think this movie is going to do domestically on the opening weekend? Just take one guess.
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, I'm not going to let you guess. This thing is tracking to be a disaster. I mean, really bad. Look at this. Disney's Indy 5 tracks for dismal $60 million opening weekend. Do you realize how bad that is?
Yeah.
I mean, this was one of the most expensive movies ever made. And initially they were like tracking, I believe, like over 100. But now I guess maybe it's that the reviews are so bad. This thing is tracking in the $60 million range. This is probably going to be a disaster. No, not probably. It will be a disaster. This movie's going to lose 100+ million. I'm thinking honestly that this box office for this movie is probably going to top out at about 700 million when it probably needs to make closer to $1 billion to even break even. Disney is going to lose $100+ million on this movie. It is that bad. I don't want to see Harrison Ford go out like this, do you?
No. I mean, I would rather see, they make a movie of like Indiana Jones and like short run that he grew up.
Yeah, I know. I would have loved to hear that the guy that played Short Round would actually be in the movie. He's not.
No, I hope he will. I mean, like, if they make a movie now, like, it would tell him, like, what happened. They grew up. He grew up,
Yeah, because I believe this movie takes place, I believe, in, like, 1970, 1972, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. And when Short Round was in the movie, that was, like, in the 1930s, because everybody knows that Raiders of the Lost Ark came out first, but however, in the timeline, Temple of Doom, which Short Round was actually in, those events happened before Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, I would like to see that. I mean, he was just in one, movie, the Temple of Doom. And I would like to see him more,
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen. We're getting Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She actually played. Remember that movie Solo? Mm-hmm. She was the one that played the droid and that Lando Calrissian wanted to have sex with. Yeah, That was her. Yeah, this movie is tracking to be an absolute disaster, guys. I mean, look at this right here. Dial of Destiny, it says projecting to be 60 million. Now, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which they put Crystal sucks. The reviews weren't bad, were bad for it, but the box office was really good for Crystal Skull. Mm-hmm. Crystal Skull in 2008 made $100 million opening weekend. So if you actually adjust that for inflation, that's probably, I don't know, because that was 15 years ago, probably like 150 million. I mean, this is, so technically, Dial of Destiny would end up making in real numbers like $90 million less than Crystal Skull. Mm-hmm. Wow. Poor Harrison Ford, man. Look what Disney did to him. When The Force Awakens came out, you're thinking, all right, he's going to be with Leia. No, he's a deadbeat dad that ran out on his family. And then they kill him off and made him look like a bitch. And so now in this movie too, because we talked about the leaks too, and they're pretty much going to make him a deadbeat dad. Well, not a deadbeat dad, but it's because the rumors say his son is already dead, and then he just divorces Marion, which I find to be insulting.
Yeah. How what do you think this movie will do international?
Yeah. If we're looking at overall, it's probably going to make more money internationally, but not enough to really make much of a difference. So if I say it's going to make 700 million, it's probably going to make something like 250 or so. It's kind of hard for me to break it down overall, but 700 million ain't gonna cut it. So it may be like 250 domestic, maybe. No, what? Actually, maybe worse than that. No, I take that back. This movie ain't making 700 million. If this thing hits just 60 million right here in this country, opening weekend, you only go down from there. You know what? Now that I see the 60 million, I'm taking it back. This movie's going to make, maybe 500 million worldwide now. That's not good. So it's probably going to make, because I just thought about the numbers now. If these numbers hold, it's probably going to make, I don't know, 175 domestic and then the rest internationally. I've never been really good at this stuff, but I'm just giving the best guess, because if this thing doesn't make money, then like right here it says 4,000 theaters. Mm-hmm. The theaters, if the movie's not making money, they're going to cut back on the number of theaters, which means that it's not going to be in many theaters anymore.
Well, don't you think that...
Oh, right here. Look, I'm sorry. It even says it right here. I just noticed that. It says, if Dial of Destiny collapses with a $60 million opening, he'll be lucky to crawl to 200 million domestic gross. That's why I said like 175 probably. So,
well, do you think that, the movie will... The woman's role will play like everything is like she does.
Oh, she's the hero. She's going to be the hero.
Which is a turnoff.
It is. And you're a woman. Even you don't want to see the woman be the hero. You want to see Indiana Jones be the hero.
Well, I don't mind women being a hero, but it's just that...
But not at the point of actually overshadowing the main character, who's the man.
After all, like, this movie is called...
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. There's... It's like, okay, if it's like that, it's like seeing her as Rey and what?
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? Even when The Force Awakens actually came out, nobody even knew that Rey was going to really be the main character. Because if you look at the first trailers for Star Wars, The Force Awakens, people were thinking Finn was going to be the Jedi. And then that wasn't the case. It was Rey, and everything was downhill. And when it came to The Last Jedi, she kept disrespecting Luke. Luke was a quitter. She beat Luke in that battle with Stitz.
I guess they want to make a fantasy where, women are a hero. They're perfect in everything they do, but in reality, it's not.
Yeah, but that's what Disney does. Even like...
I'm not putting down a woman. I am a woman too, but...
But the thing is, Disney doesn't make good female characters. From what I actually understand about the Willow show, they made it into like this lesbian love story. Mm-hmm. I'm not even sure Willow was a star in his own show with his name on it. Just like Obi-Wan wasn't the star in his own show, it was the Reva show. They keep doing this time and time again, and people are just turned off. They're turned off. I mean, this is the last Indiana Jones movie, and it's going out like this. And you know, this movie's actually been in development for, I think, since like 2015. So we're looking at like 8 years. Yeah. I'm not gonna go see it.
Well, don't you think like if this kind of movie, you know, continue? Don't you think it will have a negative impact on the perception of women? I mean, don't you think?
I think at this point that Disney Star Wars and Disney Lucasfilm, I don't think this can really hurt them anymore because I believe they're in a terrible hole right now. Everybody is turned off. The reason why Lucasfilm was even bought was really for Star Wars. That's it. And Indiana Jones, nobody was actually expecting another Indiana Jones movie. I mean, it's been 11 years now, and all Lucasfilm has done is just pump out Star Wars stuff, and of course, one woke Willow show now, and Indiana Jones is now. Overall, nobody was really even asking for Indiana Jones anymore. So I don't think this is going to hurt them anymore. They've already done damage to themselves, and people have already tuned out. Look at each one of those sequel trilogy movies. Each one made less and less and less money, and each one got worse and worse reviews. So it would be a shocker if people actually liked the movie. But apparently, you know, nobody actually likes this thing. So,
Well, I'm just afraid that like this kind of movie is, well, I know it's to empower women or something.
it's not supposed to be about women empowerment, though. It's supposed to be about Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but like, you know, for Disney is
For them,
about,
they do have this woke feminist
and
agenda. But
I'm just afraid that like if this continue, it does have a negative effect on women perception of women in reality.
women overall, I don't think so.
I'm not sure. I mean, there's some like
I mean,
because of feminists.
Well,
right now,
feminists already do that to themselves. I mean, feminists, they hate men, and of course, over there at Lucasfilm, yes, it's going to be feminists there. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy, feminist. Remember the Force is female shirts. Yeah, and obviously she doesn't know what she's doing. I mean, it's a bunch of activists over there at Disney anyway. So,
well, if they want to make like a woman like a hero, maybe they should make it more like, you know, women make mistake. You know, they just human being.
Women too perfect for them. Too perfect.
But in reality, it's not. I mean, people make mistakes.
Yeah, people make mistakes, but what they do is they turn the men into bumbling fools to uplift the women, and that's not a good way to do it. That's not. That's actually, it's not making women more empowering by doing that. I mean, if you want a strong female character, you don't have to diminish the male character in the process. But that's what they like to do. So I don't know. But I think that's gonna wrap it up, guys. Indiana Jones is tracking to be a disaster. I'm not gonna see it. You're not gonna see it either. Rose, I don't know anybody that's gonna see it, and that pretty much reflects, you know, a $60 million opening for this thing. An absolute disaster. But we'll be back on Monday with another video for you guys. Until then, be safe.
Goodbye.